Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Robin. Today I'm going to show you how to create brown smoky makeup. It's going to be a bit neutral, earthy. I think this kind of brown smoky eye makeup is suitable for almost every eye, and especially it's perfect for somebody who has my eye. It's monolid, it's a little bit chubby, so it's perfect to create depth and dimension and definition, to create look more bigger, more sultry eye look by using a brown eyeliner pencil and brown eyeshadow and a little bit of black as well. And I also have some skin breakouts here today, and I think it's really convenient time for me to demonstrate how to conceal blemishes and flaws. Today I'm going to start with a foundation and concealer, and next will be eye makeup and following by lip makeup as well. Before I start, if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, hit the subscribe and likes as well. So let's start. First, I'm going to start with a toner. Just gently wipe off any impurities and dirt and dust on your skin. And next, moisturizer. I'm going to use just a tiny bit of moisturizing product on my face. And next, primer. I'm going to use a little bit of primer that is hydrating primer. For me, I don't really worry about my pores and oils on my face, so I am using hydrating primer. But if you have such concern like pores and oiliness, fine lines, then you can use pore minimizing primer. But if you're more to dry skin, you may wish to use a hydrating primer like I did. And if your skin is more to dull and looks fatigued, you may wish to use a colored primer that can actually address your concern by changing the tone of complexion. It either has pink, green, yellow, peach. There are many different shades, so use the shade that can address your skin needs and concerns. Next, lip balm. Everybody needs lip balm because lips go chapped very easily. This is one of my favorite lip balm from Eucerin. This is called Lip Active. It feels very silky and not oily. It can last really long on the lips, so it can really hydrate and moisturize your lip without looking chapped. Next step, we're going to start the foundation. Give a good shake on the foundation before you use. And I'm going to use just a tiny bit, and I'm going to apply with a foundation brush. Always start from the center of your face because most people has redness around the nose, and you'll wish to add the most coverage on the nose area so you can really minimize any discoloration and redness. And also, people tend to see the center of the face the most because nobody sees my skin from the side or really look close like this. Nobody does that. You can really start from the center of the face. And this is my new favorite brush. I just purchased it recently, and although it actually takes a lot of foundation, first amount wasn't enough, so I'm gonna add one more product, the same foundation. By the way, although this foundation eats up a lot of foundation, but it really dispenses foundation beautifully because this foundation brush is really thick. It's much thicker than the average foundation brush. So you can really, smooth out the texture of the skin. It looks flawless and beautiful. I purchased this brush by myself. I think it's really worth the money. But if you go Dior, they will most likely suggest you to try the round shape brush. And the round shape brush isn't so bad, but I still prefer the flat foundation brush unless I really need to polish and buff the skin. But if you really need to polish and buff, there are many good brushes other than Dior and much cheaper. So since I've mentioned about the brush, I can actually use this Zoeva 003 buffing brush. This is a buffing brush that can really polish and buff the foundation into your skin, that can actually look more smooth and airbrush effect. Really the airbrush like an air gun with a foundation inside. It will spread it very evenly. It's commonly being used in a fashion backstage or makeup salon. I never heard such makeup artists in Singapore use that makeup air spray yet. When you buff, do use a circular motion so you can really buff the foundation into the skin and polish it. And do you see all this dewy looking finish, all this glow? I have this redness here, and this blemish right there is quite severe, and all this redness here, red marks. Okay, and next I'm going to use a concealer because this blemish here and the skin breakouts are quite severe. So if you don't conceal it, it's gonna be still visible through the foundation. And I really want to get more perfectly even and flawless skin complexion today. So I am going to use this concealer, soft matte concealer from NARS. It's a full coverage concealer with round shaped dual fiber brush from MAC. This is 2H something. The number is already gone, so you'll be able to see this is synthetic fiber. It has dual hairs, two different hairs. Well, I used to work at, it's just a small pep talk. I used to work at Mac. You know, I don't really have a good memory much about Mac. So now these days, as I'm working for NARS, I actually feel much happier. You know, many people, you know, has this such feeling that makeup artists are not so friendly. Yeah, they are not so friendly. I don't know, maybe they just wanna look chic. Okay, enough of small talk. I'm actually using this brush, very light hand, and just softly diffuse it by buffing into the skin. And look at how I grip this brush. I'm not grabbing this near, but actually very far. So you can really just layer the concealer without putting too much pressure. By the way, I don't know how many videos I have posted so far, and as I take more videos and tutorials, I feel more comfortable. Okay, so key to flawless skin is to really go light hand, keep buff the product into your skin so it won't look so heavy or caked. That's the trick. Go light hand. That's the trick I can give you. Most of the flaws are already concealed. So the reason why I am using this dual fiber brush to conceal this such large area. Usually I use flat concealer brush, but if you're concealing more wider area, such as blemish or scar, instead of using this concealer brush, this kind of brush works perfectly better. Works 100 times better, because this kind of brush, it will give you more thin layer, but this will give you more thicker layers. So obviously it looks much better. However, if you're using this concealer brush on your under eye area, most likely it will look very heavy, like you're wearing some, you know, giant plaster on your under eye, which is not so ideal. So I am suggesting you to try this kind of dual fiber brush, or at least this kind of round shape brush. Kind of round shape brush we can, you know, stipple into the skin, add more coverage. There's another concealer brush that has perfect dome shape. This is from Bobbi Brown. Bobbi Brown brushes, honestly telling you that quality used to be good, but they changed the material. Now it's all synthetic hair, but the price is the same. Ugh, totally hate it. So that's the question mark. I mean, if you change to synthetic hair, production cost should be lesser. The retail price of the brush is still the same. Doesn't really convince me much. So I used to collect Bobbi Brown brushes, but I won't be collecting anymore until they reduce the price, or other competitor brushes are getting higher and higher price. I just don't support. Okay, and next I'm going to conceal my under eye. And as I showed this foundation many times, this is one of my favorite foundation. Instead of using all over my face, I use it on my under eye area, because the formula is just perfect for the eye area, because it's really smooth and light, feels airy. And I'm going to use this large flat concealer brush, as I am also going to, you know, do some highlight on my under eye. I don't see such client these days anymore, but last time, about a couple of years ago, there was a many customer asking me this question if they need to create a triangle on their under eye. My answer was always no, because that is totally waste of product, and it's just not right, because anyway you're concealing the inner corner of your eye and you're blending outwards. Why do you need to apply like triangle and blend it all the way? That just doesn't really convince me much. So I suggest you use a brush or your sponge or your fingertip, whatever. Start from the inner corner of the eye and then blend outward. So far I am using just brushes only, so I can really, you know, conceal it perfectly, and also getting this glow and dew. But I'm gonna use a sponge later, so I can perfectly adhere all this concealer and foundation on my skin. Dab it with a sponge, and if you need to, you can pinch the sponge, kind of, you know, pinch the sponge, and you can reach to the corner of the face, like inner corner of your eye, nose, inner corner of the eye, nose. It doesn't have to be this pentagon sponge. You can always use a beauty blender or many other sponges. However, I don't suggest you to use cushion foundation sponge. It won't just work. It's not really designed for, you know, adherence to the skin, but it's just at a very thin layer. My skin looks flawless. flawless now. There's no redness. So now the skin is pure canvas, perfectly clean and even, and the surface is ready to take some makeup product next. And next product will be a powder, this Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder, translucent Laura Mercier, many Laura Mercier. And this is one of my go-to powder because it really feels silky, and I don't know how long it lasts the makeup, but the result is just so beautiful. Once you apply this powder, you'll immediately feel your skin is really silky and velvety, and makeup is mattified and long last. I can't exactly tell you how long the product will last because it's varied to the skin. On my skin, it lasted throughout the day, whole day. I'm going to use a powder puff. Start from center, and if you see those ugly patches of powder, don't worry, just use a brush and buff it. This technique will deliver you more even and smooth result skin. You can use a circular motion and you can just dust it off. I use both gestures. Okay, now skin is perfectly ready, and then I'm going to start with a blush color. I'm going to use a blush brush. First blush color I am going to use is actually this color because the pink color looks much better, especially when you're creating those earthy, natural tone smoky eye makeup. Because if you wear a smoky eye makeup without any face color or lip makeup or lip color, it will bring down the entire look. It either looks very not so sultry but looks like a Tim Burton's Corpse Bride kind of look, which is cool in the other way, but that's not the look I'm trying to get today. So I'm going to use this powder blush here from the lower cheekbone. I'm going to just swipe it first. Well, it looks patchy, but don't worry, you're gonna blend it anyway. It's totally fine. And the reason why I'm going lower than my cheekbone is I want to get more contour effect by using a blush color. This technique is commonly being used back in 80s, 70s, and I feel this side is a little bit too much. Then I can always go back to this powder brush I used earlier and buff the edges so I can really further blend this blush to perfection. It looks like a contour, but it's a colored contour. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a lighter color blush, and I feel like I'm gonna go with this color here. It's almost like ivory, almost like a lilac-ish color. I don't think this color will be much visible on my skin, but you can use this kind of color to blend those edges of the blush. I can see a little bit here in person, but not so sure if this camera can catch this color or not. This is really cute. I'm going more closer to my ear here. Okay, it seems okay. And next, contour powder. I'm going to use a bronzing powder that can gently warm up my skin. And I'm going to start from the side of my face where I applied blush color earlier. Go all the way up to my forehead. I'm buffing the edges of my face. Alright, and next, nose contour. I'm going to use the same bronzing powder. Go lightly on my nose. Don't forget to contour your nose, the tip of your nose. Okay, and next I'm going to use an eyeliner pencil, brown eyeliner pencil. This is not waterproof, and please do not use waterproof eyeliner when you're creating smoky eye. And I'm going to also use a flat eyeshadow brush, which is a bit large size, as big as my thumb. And I'm going to use this eyeliner pencil, literally glide all over my eyelid and just immediately blend it. So I'm building intensity. You can really see it's building now. And you don't have to worry much about evenness because this is not really important right now. The most ideal eyeliner formula is a kohl pencil. By the way, this is an eyeliner crayon from Clinique. Okay, so I can see a little bit of intensity now, and I'm gonna move on to eyeshadow. Eyeshadow I am going to use is this color. I'm going to use medium size eyeshadow brush. The size is about my ring finger. Before you apply, I'm going to use my palm. Take off some excess, layering the eyeshadow. If you keep blend the color, you actually shear down the color. There's no intensity. Sometimes you can look straight whether it's balancing or not. And I can see that this side is more darker and this side isn't. So I'm gonna add on more, and then I'm going to blend those edges with a blending brush. So as you can see, I'm actually just blending those edges only, not the inside but the outside, the edge. So you can really create soft haze. And next I'm going to use this medium brown shade here from this palette, and I'm going to use a very tiny amount. I'm going to use a round shape blending brush, and I'm just adding sheer hint of color. Just can't forget the lower eye as well, so I'm going to go on my lower eye. Then grab a smudging brush, smudge that liner so you can really get the smudgy stuff. Okay, and next is my eyes are naturally going downwards eye. It looks more hooded eyes and puffy. So if I don't use an eyeliner and define them, my eyes will be look just hoodie. Next, I am going to use a kohl pencil. You can use a waterproof black eyeliner or liquid, whatever you like. So I'm going to just use a black eyeliner pencil. Okay, so I got this brown smoky eye. I look like a evergreen, and once I open up my eyes, you can really see the outer eye lines only. And I am going to use a matte color eyeshadow. So I'm going to apply over the eyeliner to actually kind of soften those edges. By the way, when you're actually applying this eyeliner pencil inside your waterline, it will frame your eyes perfectly, but it will make your eyes look smaller at the same time. If you really need more intensity and definition, then go for it. But if you don't, just leave it empty so your eyes won't look smaller. But anyway, I'm gonna apply it all over my waterline because I like this sultry smoky look. So earlier my blush was a bit intense, but after I finished my eye makeup, it almost looked okay. So I'm actually going to move on to my eyebrows and mascara, and lastly a lip makeup. Okay, so this is the final look. I really got this large eyeline to really elongate my eye shape. I didn't expect this look, but I really enjoy and like this look because it really makes my eyes look like an evergreen, look so foxy. This kind of eye makeup is perfectly suitable for somebody who has mono eyelid or chubby eyelid like mine. And if you have really hooded eye, you can also consider trying this eyeliner technique because it's really thick. I understand it's not a real way, but if you minimize the line, it can be look more thinner, reshape your eye so it can be look more defined and balanced without looking hooded. So blush, I really like this contour blush technique. Define your cheekbone by adding colors, and when the light hits your face, your highlighting powder or your skin dew will glow, and this color will absorb the light, so it can be 3D effect by using a different colors of blush instead of using a contour powder, because contour powder can be look like a dirt or mud sometimes, but blush color you don't have to worry about such effect. How do you think? Leave me a comment down below, and if you like this look, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also hit likes as well. So I hope you liked this tutorial and enjoyed this video moment with me. I'll see you soon. Bye!